Hey team, it's your nurse educator Amy here, and today I wanted to talk about a really important and prevalent topic in nursing, and that's how to move on after a bad shift. Now, whether you are brand new to nursing or you've been doing this for a really long time, you can probably think of several shifts where it's really personally affected you. And if you don't know the right way to help cope and move on after that bad shift, it can really affect you negatively. So I want to help you. So here are some steps that I've personally used that have helped me move past a really bad shift. First thing, you need to, if you're able to, debrief about what happened. Whether maybe this was your first code where the patient didn't survive, or maybe this was your first medication error. If the opportunity presents itself that you can debrief after what happened, do it. Even if it's talking to your nurse manager, your nurse educator, your charge nurse, or maybe you just had a really bad shift and you were just drowning the entire shift. And maybe that person that you're talking to is your friend that's also a nurse but works in a different unit. Find someone that you can talk to and just get whatever is in your head out. The longer those thoughts are circulating in your mind, the more damage it's going to do to you psychologically. So you need to get those thoughts out. Okay? Now, step number 2 is after you get those thoughts out of your head, you need to give yourself time to emotionally process what's happened. If you don't give yourself this time and acknowledge those emotions that you're feeling, you're not going to be able to move on. It's just going to be sitting there, germinating within you. And every person is going to need a different amount of time. Some people are able to process their emotions very quickly and move on, and others it's going to take a little bit of time. And I think it's also going to depend on what happened on your shift. But you have to give yourself enough time to process your emotions before you're going to be able to move on. Okay? And some people really like to journal and write those emotions down, again, helping to get it out of your head. And others like to continue to talk with someone. Whatever that looks like for you, you need to give yourself that time. Now, the third step is kind of moving out of the emotional stage of this process and into the more objective, logical phase of this process. And that's thinking to yourself, what did you learn from this situation? And I often find that whenever I ask myself that question, it really helps to flip my brain out of that emotional trauma that I just experienced and into, okay, let's move forward. How am I going to do that? It helps to flip those processes in your brain so that you're able to now effectively start to move forward. So I really want you to ask yourself, what did I learn and what can I do differently? If it was your first code and the patient didn't make it, what did you learn from that situation? Maybe you learned that you need to analyze the rhythm faster as soon as that defibrillator came in the room. Maybe you learned that giving different medications may help your patient get out of that lethal rhythm. And then what would you do differently? Maybe your really bad shift was that you had 3 admissions throughout the day, and because you didn't plan your shift or start your shift effectively at the beginning, it really led you to drown later on in your shift because you didn't have a good plan in place. So whatever that situation was, I want you to think about, what did I learn and what can I do differently? And that will really help. And then the last step is know when to ask for help. If you've gotten through all these steps and you are still stuck in that emotional frenzy, that emotional turmoil, that may be a good sign that you may need help. And I know there's this stigma out there, even in the nursing community, where you don't ask for help, right? You don't go and talk with someone, you can handle it all on your own. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes you need that licensed professional, whether it's a therapist or a psychologist, whoever it is, to help you process and move past this situation. And if you're experiencing any of these signs or symptoms, I would really encourage you to ask for help. I know a lot of hospitals out there offer resources to their nurses where you can go for free or at a really low cost and get help or sessions with a therapist. So I would really encourage you to see what your facility offers. And most of the times those things are anonymous, so no one would even know. I know other facilities may even offer a mentor program that you can go and talk with another nurse and lean on them for support. But if you're experiencing any of these symptoms, you're probably not able to deal with it by yourself. And I really don't want you to push things under the rug and think, oh, I need to toughen up and just deal with it. Because if you're experiencing these symptoms, you're kind of crossing over into the danger zone where it's not only going to make you ineffective as a nurse, but it's also going to really put yourself in danger. And we really want to make sure that you get the help that you need. So again, try this plan, see if it works for you, and let me know if there's anything else that you've done differently that's helped you. Because as a community, if we can learn from each other, we can all move forward from these bad shifts. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one.